Raizo, Raizo, wherefore art thou, Raizo? Seems to be the theme of Zo right now. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Clues, Cues and Reviews, and we have an early release of One Piece Chapter 816, Cat versus Dog, Dog versus Cat. So, a chapter that was quite suspenseful in the sense because we knew something bad was going to happen from the end of the last chapter. So, brilliant chapter. We will get into it, but before anything else, thank you for those that have been supporting me so far. Thank you for those that are watching, liking and subscribing, especially commenting. For those that haven't watched this video before, come across this channel before, and have seen this for the first time, standard rules applies. If you like something what I'm doing, please leave a thumbs up, and anything you like in the the comments below within reason. Anything you don't like, pop out, thumbs down, leave it in the comment section below, especially if you got feedback of how you can improve, how I can improve. Also, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe. I will leave a thumbnail here and one in the comment section below, so feel free to subscribe at any point. But let's get into it. So in summary, the chapter was relatively straightforward. There's been a lot of straightforward chapters, but there's so much interesting information that we can pick from this. So I'm looking to have 4 points. 5th point is going to be for speculation. I was enjoying this, suspenseful till the end. A little bit of a twist at the end. I was excited about this. Leaves a lot to be kind of wondered about. So let's get into it. 4 points and a speculation. 9 out of 10 for me. 8 or 9. Really, not really a 10 because nothing crazy happened, but we did get a revelation. So let's get. So point number one is basically Mr. Ete running for his life, ringing the bell. Does not mean good things for anybody, right? At the same time, we see at the beginning of the chapter, Robin, Brooke, Frankie have woken up to realize, oh my god, they're here, Kanjuro's paintings on the ground, we need to go and get everything else. So as the bell rings, Duke Inarashi is alerted of this, so he goes, those who can move, come with me. They go to the central area. On the flip side, the same thing happens with Nikamamushi, and he does the same thing. What's funny is this whole time, Kanjuro and Kinemon are thinking, oh, they're welcoming us, it's a greeting, I'm sure they'll be fine. And Kanjuro's like, are you sure we'll be fine? Lord did say they were kind of crazy and they didn't like humans, so that sets it up. So what adds to this though is the rest of the Straw Hat crew realize what's going on, and they start running as well because they want to prevent it. Luffy's like falling asleep and he's like, oh, we're gonna have another feast, and they're like, no, it's not gonna have a feast, it's gonna be bad for us. And that's point number one. Point number two, it gets to a point where the Dukes arrive at Claw City at the same time, and Nikomushi asks Pedro the Panther, the treetop panther mink, to kind of give him an assessment of what's going on. Pedro, realizing that the other Duke's just over there, says, look, we need to retreat. And he goes, why are we retreating for? He realizes that the other Duke is there. So before we know it, they're at each other's throats straight away. Do not mess about. And luckily, whilst they get there, the Straw Hat crew have subdued the actual samurai. So Kinemon and Kanjuro are pulled down. Before this point, they also meet up with Momo as well, and Nami's like, Momo, go to the ship. Go to the ship. It's fine. Don't say anything. Just go to the ship. Which starts a flashback, which is point number 3. So point number three. I'm saying this with a very low tone because this was a pretty dim part of the chapter. It was basically the flashbacks of both Duke Inarashi and Duke Nikamamushi, as they're kind of going at each other. They say, look, your leg's seen better days, and then it prompts the flashback. So basically, the flashback for Duke Inarashi was basically Jack said, tell me where Raizo is or you'll lose your leg. Let's see who gives up first, your leg or the information. And he literally says, I don't know what you're talking about. There is no Raizo here. And he lost his leg in the process. So you see that point and you think, wow, that guy is cruel. He did not care. He did not take his word for it. And then on the flip side, you see Nikamamushi with the grifters or the gifters, I guess, and he's basically saying, you lot are cowards, and you call yourself warriors, you call yourself soldiers, why are you picking on the weak for? Why don't you pick on me? And to the point where they're surprised and they're saying, how is it he's survived the pointless gas this long? He goes, if you want to take it out on anybody, take it out on me. I'll take on all your flimsy spears. They go, okay, we'll take your arm. He goes, yeah, take it. And they take it, they destroyed his arm. So even though they were getting tortured, they held strong and they said, look, we do not know what's going on. So it's a bit of a sad moment for them. It doesn't leave them with they're not fighting fit anymore, they're not 100%. I think they've lost the ability to fully fight, and it kind of makes me think of Shanks in a way, but Shanks was shown to become a young cow even with losing an arm, without an arm, right? I'm sure the mink leaders will be capable of something. So it carries on with the clash, and basically they go, there's only need to be one leader, and then they clash swords and whatever have you, right? Which gets interrupted by point number 4. So point number 4 happens, and the interruption is by Kinemon. He shrugs off Usopp and Chopper, who's in his baby form. I'm sure if he was in his bigger form, it'd be a different story. He shrugs him off, and he goes, wait, what are you doing? And this gets the attention of both the Duke Inarashi and Nikamamushi, and he goes, my name is Kinemon. I'm from so-and-so family of Wano. I'm looking for my comrade Raizo. He wouldn't happen to be here, would he? And I was like, whoa, that's not good. That's like sticking your head in a lion's mouth. That's not going to end pretty. And you can even see Usopp going, what the hell's going on? What are you doing? What? It's like everyone's shocked. And the biggest shock of the chapter, Nikamamushi and Inarashi said Raizo is here and he is safe. And they bow. Which surprises everybody, even myself and the Straw Hats. And then we find out that that specific family, I cannot remember its specific name off the top of my head. I will be reading this off my notes if that's okay. The Kogatsu family clan. So it turns out that the Kogatsu family clan and the Mink Men for thousands of years, or whatever how long, for millennia basically, have been considered family. They have been in alliance for the longest of time. So this whole time they endured torture, they were nearly killed, the whole civilization was trashed and nearly destroyed, yet they did not give up those that they consider family. Now that for me is honor, that for me is the warrior's code. So you can see the samurai way, the way of the ninja, for example, the honor and the valor in a warrior has resonated with the leaders of the Minks to the point where they all knew about Raizo, but they did not give him up. So they lost a leg, they lost an arm, they lost everything. They were in such despair, but they did not give up their friend. So an amazing chapter, 8 or 9 out of 10 for me easily. It was missing something to make it a 10, but I was very excited about the next chapter that's going to come up. And then we get bad news. We get told that we're taking a week off. So it's like it's going to be ages before we get to find out what's going to happen next. So a nice departure from finding out about Sanji. We get to find out finally about Raizo. I can't wait to see what happens in the next chapter. That's point number 4. Let's get into the thoughts and theories for point number 5. So point number 5, it's all about speculation and theory in this section. So we had an amazing chapter and amazing revelations. Interesting thing now. So the Kogatsu family is who Kinemon is from. And that family has been in alliance with the Mink Men of Zou, or the Mink Women of Zou, the Mink People of Zou, for the whole time they were there. So it'll be interesting to find out what started this alliance. And I can see how they kind of use the element of Bushido, like Nikamamushi and Arashi do, in their characteristics and mannerisms. I can honestly see what potentially happened in the past was when they were on a ship, they actually went to Wano. Now, the fact that they bowed in respect to Kinemon makes me believe that the Kogetsu family is actually one of the major families, if not the family of Wano Kingdom, which also kind of leads to the idea that because Momonosuke was basically playing Shogun, that he may actually be the next in line, and that's where this whole thing comes from. Kaido may have taken over Wano, as a lot of people have speculated and theorized, Momonosuke being the next in line needs to be kept in check. Now that they escaped, they're looking for them. I don't know how Raizo holds the key. I'm sure we're going to find out next chapter, maybe the chapter after. I cannot wait. So it's interesting. So Kinemon royalty potentially, Momonosuke next shogun, they've been in alliance. Could this really link in to the idea that later on down the line, when it comes to the final war, we'll both have the Wano as well as Zo backing the Straw Hats? Can you imagine that? But that's all for me today, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share with all your friends if possible. You already know that there's a subscribe button there, so feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I will leave links here, more annotations really, the previous chapter review and the playlist for you to view at your own discretion for One Piece manga as a whole. Peace!